What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Littleroot Laddering. So, today I am playing Jay's Reshiram Groudon team. We kind of talked about this on the podcast on Monday, and I'm actually really interested to jump in and start playing with this. So, we have Screens, Grimmsnarl, pretty standard for like what is going on here. We have Gastro here, of course, because we have our Sun mode with multiple fire types on the team. Kyogre could be a big problem for us, so having extra insulation against it is always good. Focus Ash Venusaur, so we can try to get off a Sleep Powder multiple times if we can. We have Reshiram here to not only abuse Sun, but also potentially set it as a Dynamax target here. I'm interested to see how well Safety Goggles actually plays out on this, as opposed to like Assault Vest. The extra bulk that we get from Assault Vest really just invalidates stuff like Kyogre, especially within Dynamaxing. So I'm really interested in seeing how much that Safety Goggles is actually useful as opposed to AV. And then to round the team out, we have Jay's favorite Incineroar set carrying Shuka Berry, and we're definitely not going to get crit. Pretty, like, overall, I'm really excited for this. I think this team looks really cool. And, we obviously went a little more in-depth with it on the podcast, so if you're interested in a breakdown of it, go and check that out. So let's jump into game number 1 and see what we can do today. Alright, so we have hard Sun here with Charizard, Venusaur. We have Sableye to set Sun that way, as well as like Quash things. Ditto to abuse things, and of course Zacian plus Groudon as restricted pairs here. I think Grimmsnarl's really good. I think Incense obviously very good as well. Do I want Venu? Do I think Venu's actually worth it? I think there's a non-zero chance that they just bring Sableye and then I'm sad. Whereas here I can do like Groudon plus Reshiram and feel pretty okay. I don't think Gastro really has game here. The fact that like I don't have access to a water move to deal with Charizard is probably bad. Venu makes my day pretty bad. I think this is okay. So if they lead Zard, I can go for like Scary Face plus Parting Shot off of it. I could also just like fake out whatever is next to it. It's gonna be Charizard plus Venu. So the question is what stays in and what goes out? Like I could just set Screens here. The Screen's gonna be enough though. I think Charizard probably stays in, probably just Dynamaxes. So I think my play is I'm just gonna Scary Face the Zard and make its day really sad. I want to Dynamax Incin, but I know it's not correct. I want to Dynamax Incin and go for a Max Flare into the Venu slot. But that's so incredibly greedy, I know it's not correct. I just want a Parting Shot off this Charizard. Yep, so the Venu does switch out just as I anticipated. Charizard is going to Dynamax. So we made the right read this turn. The question is does my play actually work? Do I actually get to do what I want? I'm anticipating, I don't know, this could be Quake into the Incense slot. It could be Wildfire into my my Incin as well. Heck yeah, we are in fact faster. I think this is probably just into Reshiram. This is bad if they Quake that slot, but I don't think they're going to. And even at -1, I think we'll be fine. Life Orb plus Solar Power is still a lot of damage. Reshiram's just, existing. No! We're so bad at this game, guys. Holy cow, please calm down. Yeah, we're gonna get that Spadef boost. Now, they're gonna take their Solar Power. They're not Life Orb, meaning they're probably Charty. I can go for a Light Screen. I could also Reflect. Could also Spirit Break the Charizard. I don't think that's good though. I'm gonna Light Screen here. Could just Protect. This is probably Airstream into that slot though. So I think I'm just gonna do damage and get a Draco off. Set Light Screen here. Feels safe about like Ensign coming back in. It's really good damage, all things considered. Even like with them at +1. Precipice Blades is going to do a chunk. Is enough to take out my Reshiram. I'm really hoping this doesn't also KO my Grimmsnarl this turn. They do just Quake. I anticipated a Wildfire there, but this is fine. -1 behind screens. It's not doing a lot. So this is actually fine because now I can set Reflect as well. And I think I'm gonna go into Instant. And it's crazy to think, but I think the correct play is to actually Dynamax Instant. What's the chances that they go for a Parting Shot into that they Protect this turn? Fairly high. I could just Parting Shot off the Charizard again, put them to -2. That really incentivizes them to swap out. I think I'm going to. I think Parting Shot here is probably fine. Like, I think Max Groudon is probably the safest play. But that's pretty bad against exactly... Oh, I forgot Groudon's going to be faster. But that's fine. We're behind Reflect and we have Shuka. And they're -1. Alright, so now Zard is -2. We have Light Screen up. I get to bring in Groudon pretty safely here. Please target down my Grimmsnarl. They do just go for Airstream, that's completely fine. Grimmsnarl is going to get taken out here. So now I actually feel pretty safe about doubling the Groudon slot. Like the fact that they are like turbo fast here can be concerning. And I also just think Charizard's getting swapped out. The fact that their Dynamax is now also over means that I can reasonably Heat Crash. So their Groudon's at -2. There's like incentive for them to swap out. Charizard is also at -2 and -4 attack. Man, I really want to Dynamax Insane. I know that's not correct ever, but I want to. I think I'm going to Flare Blitz the Groudon slot, and I think I want to Rockfall the Charizard slot. Okay, they're not swapping. So this might let me actually take control of the weather. Which is going to be good when Venu comes back out. Their Groudon is faster, but like I'm not threatened by it at all. It's -2, and I have screens up. That's still a lot of damage. Charizard down. Now, unfortunately, I don't get the Flare Blitz in the sun, which is kind of unfortunate because that's what I really wanted. But like, this is still a Flare Blitz from Ensign. It's still gonna do a decent chunk. Okay. Like, in all actuality, that's decent damage. The problem now is they still have a Zacian, who's at +1, but I'm behind screens. I could Flare Blitz plus Max Flare that slot, but then Venu comes out Venu's gonna come out in Sun, so I think I'm just gonna Throat Chop the Groudon and Max Quake the Zacian slot. Zacian very well could also just Protect, but I don't think that's correct. I think they're ahead. Okay, they're just gonna pressure my Incin though. Groudon might be able to 1v3 here. Why Rock Slide? Also, how much does this do? I am Life Orb. Holy cow! Wonder if there's Sash Venu. If there's Sash Venu, I'm really dead. There's no way my Groudon's actually faster than Venu here, right? Man, if I set Sun for them, I'm gonna be so dead. Like if I don't KO. But I think flaring into the Venu slot is correct. I just need to not get crit. That's really all it comes down to, is I just need to not get crit. Alright, Groudon. I'm also +1 special defense. Do I care more about this Groudon than I do Venu? Oh, that's really close. I don't think I can 1v1 Groudon. I mean, I don't think I can 1v1 the Venu. I think I can 1v1 this Groudon, though. Yep. Miss? Oh, Groudon! Oh, that is the biggest miss of my life. Oh, that's so good. Life Orb Groudon, kinda dumb. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kinda dumb. Alright, this is 120 times stab, so 180. This is 100% accurate. It's not gonna be very high base power though. I think Precipice Blades is just correct. They have Fire Punch as well. Don't burn. Lucky. Holy cow, I don't think we deserve to win that game at all. I don't think I deserve to win that. So we have Dialga plus Zacian here with Urshifu, Lando, Whimsicott, and Grim. What do I like? What Urshifu form is this? Probably dark. If I was a betting man, it's probably dark. I want to do Venu things here. Venu is not very good into Whimsicott. They just have their own form of speed control then. I could see like Whimsicott. I could see like Groudon Venu with Instant Reshiram in the back. I don't think Screen's Grim is going to be all that worthwhile. And I think having the Intimidate is going to be more useful. Yeah, I think Groudon Venu is fine with Instant and Reshiram. Could pivot the Groudon out depending on how turn 1 goes. Would I rather lead? I think I would rather lead Instant actually. Just on the off chance that they do lead Whimsicott here, I can just kind of like force them to protect on turn 1. Urshifu Grimmsnarl. Urshifu Grimmsnarl. Okay. I think this is actually pretty okay, all things considered. I could Dynamax. Am I interested in Dynamaxing? If I do, I can potentially KO the Urshifu. I also think Urshifu could just protect here. I think I like going for Fake Out plus Sleep Powder that Grimmsnarl, just kind of invalidate it here on turn 1. No Protect.
What?
Rocky Helmet Grimmsnarl. What is this? Well, sorry, Ensign. You tried, buddy. You tried your hardest. But this also gives me a free switch to Groudon, which I think is fine. Alright, Grimmsnarl's asleep. Wonder if they're choice locked on the Urshifu. That could be a thing that exists. I think this is a Dynamax Venusaur kind of game. I think this is one of them Dynamax Venusaur games. Into this Urshifu. And could just go for Precipice Blades here. Don't really have a good swap. Obviously, like, Lando could come in, but I'm not really concerned about that. I think I would still rather just get this Precipice Blades off. If they go for, like, a Surging Strikes into Groudon, I don't really care. Like, it'll do a non-zero amount, but it's also halved. It's also super effective, but, you know, I think this is fine, all things considered. Uno is also not the fastest thing on the field, so there's a non-zero chance that we can just one-shot this Urshifu before it ever gets an attack off. Okay, they do have Protect, so they are not choice locked, meaning they're probably Sash, which is completely fine because I'm going to break their Sash here. They're going to take Chip at end of turn as well. And I'm going to fire off a Precipice Blades into the Grimmsnarl here, which we connect. Good. And then it's also going to take Vine Lash at end of turn. That's really close. That might get KO'd here. That's really close. These go down. Perfect. Okay. So no screens from Grimmsnarl this game. That's very good. No Trick, no Thunder Wave, no nothing like that. Question is what do they bring in here? It's just going to be Zacian. I have Quake for that. Am I more worried about Zacian or Urshifu right now? Probably Zacian. Thing's really threatening. Could just go into Reshiram, anticipating the like, what's it called? Behemoth Blade. I also think there's like a non-zero chance they attack down Venusaur because it's my Dynamax and they're threatened by it. I think Groudon staying in is actually completely fine. If I were them, I would probably Dynamax the Urshifu here in all actuality. Because, like, that lets them set Rain, potentially. I'm going to get a special defense boost off of this, but based on the way they, their team is, like, presented, I'm currently not really going to need that. But, could be useful. How much does this do into Groudon? That's the real question here. Nice crit. It is going to bring me under half, but... Oh, it actually doesn't. I'm 1 HP above half. So after Life Orb, I'll go down to half. But they should get KO'd here. Yep. Perfect. Nice crit. Didn't really matter, but I'll take it. Vine Lash into the Zacian. Take some extra chip there. And then Lando is their last, which I am also completely fine with. That's clearly their Dynamax target now. I think I want to just going to Quake the Zacian. I actually think it's correct to swap Groudon out, anticipating like a Rockfall potentially here. Because if this is Rockfall or Airstream, I can swap, Groudon back in if it is Rockfall, and then Venusaur will be faster than the Lando next turn, so I can go for a Sleep Powder. And if it's Airstream, it'll just put me down to Sash potentially on Venu. So, like, either way, I feel like this is a safe switch, because this also gets the Intimidate off of the Reshiram. It brings in, it gets the Intimidate off of Groudon, lets me bring in Reshiram, potentially threaten their Lando that way. Of course, their Dynamax is going to be their Landorus here. Not really surprised by this. Like, obviously, they can't Dynamax Zacian. They haven't used it yet. Clearly, that means it's going to be the Lando. But if we can just, like, invalidate this Lando by putting it to sleep next turn and just be super disrespectful, I feel so good about myself. Zacian does go for the double protect, which, like, I think is their only correct line there. Like, if you get it, cool. Now you have Zacian for, like, turns past my Dynamax. And if you don't, then, like, you are going to lose Zacian regardless. If you click attack, you're going to lose Zacian. If you get the double protect, there's a chance you can save it. Yeah, but they do just Airstream into the Venu. It is enough to put me down to Sash, but it's not enough to outspeed me, presumably. I really need it to not be enough to outspeed me. Because I would like them to take a fat nap. Go to sleep. And then, yeah, we will drop a hot Fusion Flare on their Lando. Yes! Don't be lum. Yes! Everything is coming up my way. Nice damage. Real nice damage there, Lando. I mean, Reshiram. Now we can safely fire off a Leaf Storm here, fire off a Fusion Flare. They can reasonably only KO one of my Pokemon if they wake up this turn. But it's not even going to matter. Venu is enough to KO them there. Venu came out to play this game. Definitely was the true MVP. Getting off double Sleep Powder and being our max target. Alright, so we have beat up Whimsicott next to Justified Terrakion here. Something we haven't seen in quite a while. It started popping up in like Series 5 was when that first really came onto the scene. Obviously it's in like older VGC formats as well, but specifically in Sword and Shield it was like Series 5. We have Kyogre plus the Seismitoad here as well, which can be like really impactful as a lead. And then they have a slow mode here of like Cali Ice plus Amoonguss. I blanked super hard there for half a second. So I think what I really like is I want to do like Grimmsnarl plus Incineroar, but I feel like this is really passive of a lead. Especially because I also want Groudon, Gastrodon, Venusaur, and Reshiram in this matchup. So I think what I really want is, I think I want my Dynamax target here in Reshiram up front, alongside Incin with Gastro and Groudon in the back. I think this is going to allow me to potentially deal with this Kyogre efficiently, as well as be able to like take over the weather if need be, as well as play under Trick Room if that's what my opponent wants to do. I think these four probably give me the best bet of like trying to do something successfully. Whereas if I lead Venusaur, they can just like set Tailwind and try to outpace me that way. There's a lot of things that really go wrong with like Venusaur. And obviously Incin's very good here, seeing how they have Terrakion, they have access to Cali Ice, they have the Seismitoad as well, all of which are very physical threats. What did I leave? Oh, Grimmsnarl. I left Grimmsnarl at home. This is fine. Because they can go for like Protect here on turn 1. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop a Wormwind into the Terrakion. And I kind of want to just immediately swap out into... I could go into Groudon here. I think dropping the attack on Terrakion is going to be really important. I kind of want a parting shot into it as well, just anticipating the protect from Whimsicott, but I also think it's just completely okay to play it safe and go for the fake out, because like if they do go for it here, just punishing them extremely hard by going for the fake out here could be right. I don't want to double into the Whims in case they go for a protect, but just like dropping this Terrakion's attack again hopefully is going to be enough where I can just invalidate it. And obviously they could just like protect here as well. Yeah, the Whimsicott does go for protect, that's fine. I'm presuming this is also Terrakion protect. Yeah. This is okay by me. This is why I kind of debated swapping out the Ensign this turn into like the Groudon, just to try to pressure them again. But like if I do that, they're still going to be able to get a beat up off next turn, which I think is probably fine, because now I could go for another Wyrmwind. I could also just go for a Max Flare into the Whimsicott here and go for a parting shot into the Terrakion. This is going to put it to -3 if I do get this off, which after beat up would be +1. So I'm pretty okay with that. If this is Knuckle, we're not like doing okay. Man, I kind of wish I had a second fake out user on this team, not gonna lie. Yep, there's the beat up. Not really surprised by this. This is the longest animation in the history of forever. Like, based on the damage that we did with Wyrmwind, it might just be correct to attack into it again. But like, if I get this parting shot off, I can protect Reshiram and swap Ensign in next turn, and then Terrakion's back to neutral. So the real question is what do they value more, my Reshiram or my Ensign? Rockfall doesn't give me a solid answer either way. It's just going to be my Reshiram. Holy cow! +1's enough to KO me? I never would have thought that. I guess it's +2 currently. I'm going to get the parting shot off, which is good. And I guess this means I can go into like Groudon here and try to pressure them this way, and then I can bring in Ensign. Man, I really expected Reshiram to take that hit. Like, I understand it's a super effective stab hit, but I really expected it to live. So this is going to put it down to neutral now, right? Because we had Intimidate, Wyrmwind, Parting Shot, Intimidate. So, like, the worst part is they can just go for another beat up here. It's like, if that's the play, do I just go for another fake out? Or do I just want to immediately go for a parting shot into this? I don't hate going for a parting shot. Just going for Precipice Blades here. This is really bad if they're weakness policy, but like I don't really have another play. Yeah, Whimsicott does go for the protect. Come on, Ensign, you got me, right? Ensign, buddy, you're a failure. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, neutral Rockfall didn't even matter. I feel like we're really dead. So, like, we're just gonna get, like, 4-0'd here, I feel like, as we KO the Terrakion. Okay. So this game got a little more interesting all of a sudden. The downside is they can still just switch into, like, Kyogre and set Tailwind here, and then we're, like, not in a great position. Also, we do take the Whimsicott's, like, Sash off if they are Sash. If it is Kyogre, it's kind of fine because I still have my Gastro. But, like, there's no way that Groudon takes a... Like, it's just a Mungus. Did they not bring either of their restricteds? Or are they gonna, like, go turbo mode here with a Mungus? I think I'm just gonna yawn it. And then go for a Heat Crash into Whimsicott. This is Tailwind into Spore my Groudon. I don't feel great, but, like, you know, just Moonblast. Okay. Which, like, Groudon takes those all day. This should KO. Yeah, not even close. We get the yawn off. We are faster as well. The Whimsicott also didn't go for Tailwind, so I wonder what their last move is. So we saw Moonblast and Beat Up. Mungus is going to take some chip. Break a potential Focus Sash there as well, but the fact that they have Whimsicott tells me that they probably are sashed there. I wonder if their last attack is Trick Room. Actually kind of interesting. So, I could yawn the Calyrex this turn. I think this is fine, and then I'll just go for a Protect. Gastrodon might come down to, like, winning this game. Yeah, I should have predicted. Should have just gone for the Ice Beam or the Protect. Oh, they're just going to fire off a Glacial. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Yep. Oh, that's really bad. Alright, well, we've lost. Beat Up Whimsicott also means that you can trigger Policy on Calyrex, which is actually really interesting as well. It's a really, really interesting things going on with this team. I like it. It's really cool. But yeah, we are very dead. Should have read the Rage Powder there. Gotten off an Ice Beam. I don't think like single Ice Beam is enough to take out a Mungus. So even like Ice Beam last turn and Protect Groudon probably isn't enough to... I mean, I guess I could have also just doubled the Amoonguss, go for Ice Beam plus Heat Crash it, and then like it's gone and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then like I still just have to worry about like Tailwind on the Whimsicott, but I feel like if they had it, they would have set it the turn they went for Moonblast. I would really like to see this team. I think it's really cool. I think there's a lot of moving pieces on it that are all really interesting. I am so glad I decided to play one more. Rayquaza, Zacian, Umbreon. Wild. Absolutely wild. So they have Airlock here, so like Venusaur doesn't really play all that well. Grimmsnarl is actually pretty fine. Honestly, Venu is actually not all that bad. Like, even if they do take away my weather, I can just put Rayquaza to sleep. And I don't really care about what it's doing at that point. I think this is Venu plus Grim up front. I think I want to be able to set screens this game depending on what they do. With my double restricted in the back. Is there a reason to bring Ensign over Grim? There's a really good argument. Like, Rayquaza could be physical. Would I rather have Grim or Ensign for Zacian? I think the answer is probably Ensign. Do I want to preserve Ensign for that long is the question. I think I like Ensign. And then Groudon plus Reshi in the back. I think this is probably fine. If they do leave Rayquaza, I can just like go for Fake Out into whatever their partner is, plus Sleep Powder into the Rayquaza. I can also just go for a Parting Shot into the Ray. And is Umbreon plus Rayquaza. Very, very cool. So obviously I can't fake out the Umbreon. But what I can do is I can go for a parting shot into it. And I am just going to sleep powder it. I think actually throat chopping the Umbreon is the play to prevent it from going for a yawn here. I think I actually really like that play. It's not something you see a ton of, but I think it is very useful here. I'm anticipating probably yawn my Ensign plus... I mean, it could be yawn the... Oh, they're just going to protect. That's also fine. This feels like a yawn into my Venu, the way this is going.
Oh, no,
Wait.
no.
I thought Throat Chop prevented yawn. Am I just dumb? That's really unfortunate. I think I just want to swap to Reshi and go for a parting shot into the Rayquaza now. Is Yawn not considered a sound-based move? That is incredibly dumb. Today I learned Bug Buzz and Eerie Spell are, but not Yawn. The thing that uses your voice to, like, uses your mouth to actually do the action. I don't, Okay. There's Helping Hand. Is this just Airstream? No, it's Wormwood. That's even worse for me. That's a good read. Yeah, dang good read from our opponent. Like, getting this attack drop isn't all that important. I am going to get this Sporting Shot off, so now they're -1 special attack, which is most likely what they are. Man, I was not ready for Helping Hand, Wormwind into your Venusaur slot. I mean, I could go into Groudon. What does that do, though? Probably a whole lot, nothing. I think I need to Sleep Powder the Umbreon in all actuality. I can't go for Fake Out into the Umbreon. I think I'm just gonna, like, present, like, double threats here and say, alright, what do you want to deal with so I can deal with you? I think Sleep Powder the Umbreon is probably correct, and then Dynamax here. I could Quake the Umbreon. I could also go for a Rock Fall into the Rayquaza, but that's really bad if they protect. So I think I'm just going to Max Quake and Sleep Powder the Umbreon slot. Umbreon typically doesn't carry Protect. It's usually like Foul Play, Moonlight, Yawn, and Helping Hand. I think their play this turn should probably be Airstream into my Venusaur. But I really want to see Max Guard. Dang! Just next level. That's at -1. That's absurd. And now my Groudon's also at -1, which is sad. But this is going to put Groudon to +1 special defense. So we should be able to live whatever they got going on here with the Rayquaza. It's really good damage in all actuality. Another one does KO. Citrus. Okay. That's fine. So now they're not dead to another one? I'm gonna Quake. I think I'm gonna Protect this turn. I think this is pretty okay for me. I think Venu should live at +1 behind Protect. And they do just go for another Wormwind, which is going to put my Groudon to -2, which is bad. I really need to preserve my Venusaur so that I can get a switch out on my Groudon. Because the fact that my Groudon's at -2 is really bad for me. Crit there would have been very nice. Just like obliterating this Umbreon would have been very, very nice for me. Okay. They get the 1-turn sleep, which is obviously not good. I think this turn is going to be Rockfall the Rayquaza slot. And then swap Venu out into Ensign. Man, this game has not gone the way I thought it would at all. This has been a good match. Rayquaza is kind of bodying me. I also learned today that Yawn doesn't work like I thought it did. Honestly, like, had I known that Yawn wasn't a sound-based move, what was my play instead? Because, like, they protect Rayquaza on 1. I can't fake out. Do I just Flare Blitz, or do I just hard switch the Venu? I mean, hard switch the, Man, good reads from my opponent tonight. I probably shouldn't do a lot behind Shuka and them at -1. Really hoping that this rock falls enough to KO. If not, we're going to be in for a world of hurt. Okay. So this is actually pretty okay because this lets me pressure whatever comes in instead of Rayquaza and allows me to swap out my Groudon, which I already want to do anyway, but the fact that they're going to yawn that slot as well just is A-okay by me. I can also Flare Blitz into the Umbreon to take it out. I have Gastro here. Okay. Gastro's an interesting choice when I have no water types on my team. And we'll go hard into into Venu. And then I think Gastro just protects here. I think this is Flare Blitz the Umbreon trying to take it out. I would really, really like to outspeed this Umbreon, which I do, because I attacked before they went for Yawn on turn 1. Is this enough? It is. Okay, sick. It's very, very good. Ice Beam, presumably into the Venu slot. That's completely fine, because this is going to let me take back over the weather. Which, going into, like, Sun mode with Ensign against a potential Zacian here could be pretty okay. If there is a Zacian, so, only play I have, I could, technically speaking, I could Heat Crash, because it is super effective and it's boosted by Sun, but I don't know how much damage Heat Crash does from Groudon into Zacian. So let's, like, I don't know the base power. Heat Crash. Is less than Precipice Blades in Sun. Okay. That's enough of like convincing for me. And then I will Flare Blitz this Zacian as well. Presumably they can only take one of me out this turn. This is probably Yawn my Groudon plus Sacred Sword into my Ensign, which it is. Really hoping that Life or Precipice Blades is enough. Okay. This should probably just be Yawn. If it's Ice Beam, I'm going to rejoice. Hurrah! That's also fine. Oh no, my special defense! We do need to connect another Precipice Blades here, but that's fine. Just don't miss Groudon. Yep, that's fine. They're gonna get some more lefties they're gonna get some more lefties recovery, but they're still within Precipice Blades range, especially now that it's a single target move. So as long as I connect, I win. Come on. Come on, opponent. Just let me hit. Huzzah. Sick game. We almost got bodied by Rayquaza. And the crit just for the rub-ins. This team was fun. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Life Orb Groudon is not something I knew I wanted to play with until tonight. Just so much damage, man. Closing thoughts on Groudon Reshiram here. Safety Goggles never came up on Reshiram. There were multiple times that had it been AV, we were probably in a better position. But like, Helping Hand Wormwind into Reshiram on the Switch is probably not enough for us to like live. So like, I don't know, like, I don't think Safety Goggles was ever important tonight specifically, but that doesn't mean that over, you know, a course of 100 games or whatever, that it wouldn't be relevant. The biggest question I had is Assault Vest still just better? Like, over the course of 100 games, would Assault Vest be better than Safety Goggles here? The Grimmsnarl also was very impactful. Like, you know, I think we only brought it to like one of the games I played tonight, but Screens is very good. We got to Scary Face a Charizard and then Parting Shot off of it, which was sick. Not something I knew I wanted in life, but something we got to do. We didn't play a single Kyogre, I think. Did we? I think we played one, but they didn't bring it. And we got completely bodied by that team because they had Terrakion and we were not ready for it in any way. Because Reshiram failed to take a +2 Rockfall, which, like, obviously, in hindsight, I should have probably protected, but I was hoping they'd target down Ensign instead. This team was really fun. If you're looking for, like, super, like, good damage output from a Groudon set, this is it. This set was phenomenal. Dynamax Groudon tonight did so much damage so many different times. The Focus Sash Venu also came up and was very, very relevant, and we won a game because of it. So, Jay, I stand corrected. Focus Sash Venusaur is the way to play this. You are correct. I revoke everything bad I've ever said. But yeah, this team's great. Please go check it out. Huge shout outs to Jay once again for providing the team for tonight. And as always, everyone, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next week with some more Littleroot laddering. Have a good one.